My next guest is back in action coming up here at UFC Fight Night on September 19th. He's taking on a fellow countryman of mine, TJ Laramie. It is Darrick Minner joining me here on the program. Darrick, how's it going?
It's going well, man. Just resting up before the next session. So.
Well, that's good. Thanks for having me part of your rest time. Must be happy to get a fight. It seemed like this kind of came together pretty quickly. When did you find out?
I would say 4.5 weeks ago. Probably not ago, I guess 4.5 weeks from the fight. So it'd probably be 2.5 weeks ago. 2.5 weeks ago, I guess.
Did you kind of have a feeling something was going to happen, though, just from your last fight that was supposed to happen, like sort of stay on standby, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, I was asking for September, but, you know, you just never know. So I was staying in shape, just waiting for the date so I could head out and go get my camp started. So finally got it, and so now we're rolling.
And obviously mentioned it there, kind of alluded to it. You're supposed to fight Jordan Griffin back in June. I know there was like sort of a weight cut issue. For those who don't know, I want to hear it from the source. What sort of happened there? Why did you have trouble making weight?
I don't think I cleared it up, and I did an interview yesterday, and I just want to clear that up too, because it wasn't really the weight cut issue. It was actually, I think I just got sick, man. I think I just got a stomach bug. It was weird. I usually break up my day before weigh-ins into 2 sessions, you know, and do half and half. We cut 5 pounds in the morning, and then I went and weighed. I was 151 pounds. So I was like, all right, well, perfect. You know, that's pretty real well for me. And so I just jumped back in the room, took a nap, woke up around 7 o'clock, 6:30, 7 o'clock, and I just had sharp pains going through my stomach, and I didn't really acknowledge them until like I started dry heaving, and I was like kind of, you know, there's nothing really left in my body at that point, so I was like puking up a little like stomach acid and stuff like that, and this went on for a while. It's about an hour and a half, and then finally we called the PI team, the nutrition team, and they came up. They tried to help me. They were giving me tablets to try to settle my stomach, and then it went from there to getting like some frozen blueberries to try to settle it, and like some other stuff. And I couldn't hold anything down or anything like that. And so finally about midnight, so it went on for 6 hours, and then finally at midnight they called it and said this is not safe, not happening. So then it was a good call though. It was a good call by them and the team, my team and everybody like that, because we actually jumped on the plane so it'd be the Friday about 4:00 p.m. and by the time I got home I had probably thrown up 4 or 5 times that way, and then we got home, I went to bed, woke up, watched the fights, and as the fight would have been walking out, I was actually throwing up. So it was a great call. I couldn't really get hydrated for a couple days, and so yeah, I mean, I was finally able to hold some stuff down before, So yeah, that's clearing it up a little bit. Like it's more.
I'm glad, because I figured it was the case. I mean, you're a guy that's fought. You have a ton of experience, and I know you've never missed weight. So I figured it was something other than that. And of course, you get all the idiot fans, saying, "Oh, you're undisciplined" or whatever. Did you get any of that on social media after the fact when people are like, "This guy's unprofessional"?
Yeah, I believe the reason that I got a lot of feedback and negative feedback was because I was the live underdog everybody was betting on, because everybody watched the LFA fight that me and Griffin had fought. And so I believe that's why I was getting a bunch of negative feedback, because it messed up their parlays and took the underdog that they thought was going to win. And so that's what I was getting a lot of on social media, is the way I feel. So
when were you actually able to get back to training after this? Because I know with an illness, which sounded pretty serious, I mean, you were telling me sort of the details there. What was it like? You took a week off, or when did you actually get back?
Yeah, I only took a couple of days off, man. I think I was better by that. Like by the next probably Thursday or Friday, I was able to hit pads, move around and stuff like that. Like I didn't feel right for a week, but yeah, I mean, it was just like a little stomach bug or something. I don't know. It was really, really odd, but yeah, I mean, I maybe took like the week off from whatever, but then got right back into it.
Was there any talk of rebooking that fight with you and Jordan Griffin, the rematch? Because I know that was a fight that you both were kind of looking forward to.
I don't. I wanted it, obviously. Like, I was like, well, cool. Let's book it in 3 weeks. Maybe I'll be better. Like, if I was, but they booked him on something else. So they booked him like 2 weeks later, and so that was already, in the past. So hopefully we'll go get this win and then try to get that one back.
So you're fighting TJ Laramie, and it's interesting you're wearing the Contender Series shirt because he's a Contender Series winner, won a couple weeks ago. Did you know about him when they offered you the fight? Had you seen his fight on Contender Series?
Yeah, I've seen his Fight Night Contender Series, and I knew TJ's name, and I fought on a card in Canada with him. He actually made like his pro debut or something the night I fought, and he actually, weird enough, like he goes and does his camp in Vegas with Extreme Couture and 10th Planet and all that stuff, and so I've seen him around there because that's where I usually do my camps and stuff too. So yeah,
interesting. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, that's crazy. What card did you fight? I'm from Canada, so you piqued my interest. Was this Hard Knocks? Where did you fight?
Yep. I fought Jesse Arnett.
That's right. Oh, yes, of course. Okay, yeah. That makes sense. So now that you said you sort of knew a little bit about TJ, I'm sure you've dug in a little bit into his fight career. How do you feel like you match up against him here?
Man, I like the matchup. I like, he's got a lot of steam behind him. I think it's gonna be a fun fight, and I love the matchup. I mean, we're both grinders. We both like to be on top, like to do ground and pound. I feel like, it's going to be a scrap, man. I feel, I love the matchup. I like the matchup. My team likes the matchup, and so it's going to be a fun one.
Now, he's fought a lot of tough guys in the regional scene, but you have a lot more fights than him. Do you see that as an advantage in the fight? Just because we talked about this before. I mean, you've earned your UFC contract with the amount of fights you've taken on the regional scene.
Yeah, man. I just feel like, he's got some tough names on his record. I feel, so do I. But I feel like just the fact that I've been through it all. I've been through the ups, downs. I'm 30 years old. I'm not 22 years old. When I was 22 years old, I had ups and downs, and my fight career for 12 years, 10, 12 years was just, rocky road when I'd get on a streak and they'd be like, okay, go win this one and you're next, So I feel like, that's experience is always an advantage no matter where you're at. If you're in a regular job or if you're but especially in this type of game. And, I feel like that's going to be playing a factor when we get in there.
So where are you training for this camp? Who has been helping you get ready?
Down here in Kansas City at Glory MMA with James Krause. James Krause is leading the way. So it's definitely a new experience, and James has opened my eyes to actually what everybody was saying, how great of a coach he was. And they got something special down here, and I'm glad that I was able to join him and have him lead my camp. So.
Fantastic. So who have you got to work with as far as bodies in the gym?
Man, there's obviously I stay with Tim Elliott down here. Again, I used to stay with him in Vegas, but he moved back here to train with James. And then, you got like Grant Dawson, Anthony Gutierrez, a bunch of guys that really no one really knows about yet that are super good. You got, there's just like 10 to 12 guys in there that are in the UFC. Kevin Kroom's in there. Just like,
yeah, too bad what happened with him. Hopefully they're going to rebook his fight soon, Kevin Kroom.
Yeah, man, I haven't really talked to him about it, but that's heartfelt for a guy like me who has the experience, who's fought the kid, knows him, and hopefully he gets his chance because he deserves it.
So yeah, I just remembered that you fought Grant in your debut. How was it getting to train with him?
It's good, man. Like that's the thing. Like I fought 3 or 4 dudes from Glory. James has cornered against me 3 or 4 times. So
why not get him to join the team? You must know something, right? So
hey, man, like that's the thing. Like, what better way of going and training under a guy that knows everything about you because he's game planning against you? So why not have him game planning for you when he knows all your holes, your weaknesses, your strong points, and everything else? So
very interesting. And what's the connection to Tim Elliott? How do you guys know each other?
Obviously he's from Kansas City, but Kevin Gray, who's my business partner in Nebraska City, he owns a gym with me. Him and Tim actually wrestled in high school and college together. And so when me and Tim or me and Kevin were looking for another spot to train, Tim and him had talked, and we just went out there like three years ago, and so I've been coming out and ever since, and became good friends and stuff. So
very cool. And how's the weight cut going for this fight? Obviously, no sickness. You seem pretty healthy right now. So
yeah, it's great, man. I'm lighter than I am during fight week. Coming into fight week right now, man. James had me working with Tyler Minton.
Fantastic!
Nutrition. So yeah, man. I'm right now. I'm lighter than I do when I go in on Monday on fight week. So it's gonna be great, and I feel great. So.
Now, I heard when it comes to working with Tyler, what I hear from a lot of the fighters that you actually eat a little bit more, but somehow the weight comes off. I guess it's just the right fuel or whatever. Is that the case with you, or is it just are you eating kind of what you normally do?
No, man. I've always known I ate too little. Like when I've always like wrestled, like just pick and ate, when I needed to eat. So it's opened my eyes to what you're supposed to be doing with how much I'm actually eating, and it was scary at first. I'm like, why am I eating all this food? And then now I'm like, oh, okay, makes sense because I need it, so.
Very cool. So I imagine James Krause is going to be in your corner. Who else will be making the trip there with you to be in the cage with you?
Dakota Cochran will be in there. He's always in my corner. One of my best friends and training partners back home. And then my manager, Train, will be in the corner with me. And yeah, so.
Very cool. How's this fight playing out? I mean, obviously, on paper, this looks like a potential fight of the night here. How do you see it unfolding?
Man, I think the first round's going to be fun, and then I think eventually I think it's going to be a back and forth battle. Maybe not. I think that I'm going to catch him in something. So hopefully, we'll see what happens. I don't like to make real predictions on my fights to see where it happens, but I'm a finisher, and so we'll see what happens. So. I plan on finishing the fight.
What's downtime looking like for you during camp? Try and break things up with training. I know big fight, big opportunity here, but what does downtime look like? Video games, Netflix, going for a hike? What do you like doing? I'm curious.
There's not really, with 4 weeks notice, there's no really downtime. You're just at it and going at it, especially being with my schedule right now. So I pretty much am just chilling during downtime and. When I was back home before I came down here, I have a 4-month-old daughter that, so that pretty much sums up my downtime. And then they're going to come, my girlfriend and daughters are going to come down here during this weekend when I have some downtime, just hang out and stuff and, have them swim in the pool at a hotel or something. So.
Good stuff. Well, we're looking forward to this fight. It is UFC Fight Night coming up here September 19th. Darrick, it was great getting a chance to talk to you, man. Just remind people where they can get a hold of you on social media. And if you have any sponsors or shout-outs or thank yous, the floor is yours.
Man, I think Twitter is at Darrick Minner. Instagram's Minner135. And yeah, man, all my sponsors, they know who they are. They've helped me out tremendously, especially during this time, getting camp ready and all that stuff. So, man, it's a lot to thank. I got a lot of people backing me, so I just kind of they know who they are, and they definitely help out my career, and I'm able to do this, especially right now.